Alrighty, let's see if we can get this thing fixed. You're going to notice on here that the check light is on with the Dometic refrigerator. The switch is on, and I have the button for gas in, which means the gas is not on at the moment. If I press that button to bring it out, which means I'm on gas only, you'll notice that that check light stays on, and it does not try to fire outside and ignite, and there is no propane coming through to even try. So let's see what the problem is here. If I press it back on gas off, it goes to the auto switch, and I am connected to shore power right now, so it will keep the refrigerator cool. So I know that the fridge and freezer are working, and that would mean that there's a problem with the gas side or LP side of the refrigerator. Now, one of the first things I'm going to do is go ahead and turn off the electricity, and I'm going to completely unplug my 30 amp power line just to make sure that there is no electricity going into this thing. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is go ahead and turn off the battery supply, which is right down here. That's my battery control. So I'm going to turn that off, and now I have no 12 volt going on the inside. The other thing I'll do is go ahead and shut off the propane. Don't want any propane going through here at all. That's pressure fed. And to be sure, I also turned off the switch on the refrigerator and the inside. I mean, they're just to be double safe. So we're going to take this backside panel off to the refrigerator. It may be located in a different spot on your camper, but you'll notice it. There's two screws down here, and you'll need a flathead screwdriver. Just turn that one direction there, one direction here, and if it doesn't come out easily, just take your screwdriver and just put it in here, and it'll pop out quite easily. So we're going to take that lid off. Now, your drain pipe for when you defrost normally comes back down through one of these holes in the vent cover. So I've already taken that out because I've been out here messing around. Now, one thing I'll go ahead and do is just show you some things I checked real quick. I'm going to take this cover off. There's 3 screws that hold it, one down here, over here, and there, and then this panel will just lift on out. Okay, so we got the panel off there. One of the reasons I took it off is there is a reset button right here for the flue. I think that's a temperature control, and if it has been popped, there is a reset button right here. It's just one of the things I checked. And this is the area where your gas flows into the flue right over here, and this little guy right here is your igniter switch, and it will actually spark down there when gas is flowing through and fire up your gas. Now, this is a solenoid. I did find videos on the solenoid. I pulled these wires off, and with a multimeter I just checked to make sure there's continuity on this, and there was. So that was just a quick check to make sure that the solenoid wasn't an issue. But this is going to be primarily just changing out that control board, because only the propane, the LP side, has not worked. So to take out your board, there's one screw holding it in right there. You can take this cover off without removing that screw, but I'm going to pull that off for you and just show you real quick. I did go ahead and take this top screw off. It makes it just a little easier to get back here, but by putting my fingers back here, I was able to pop this off. So just carefully take this cover off, and there's a couple of lips that hold it together, but we just want to take that apart, okay? And once we have it apart, you can see all of the controls that go to this. So we'll be taking, this is the igniter switch that goes over for the to light the spark that gets your thing going there, and this goes into the refrigerator. But basically all these are going to be unplugged, and I do have a needle nose plier that I'm going to use, just a little easier to pull out some of these plugs down here, and we'll check that, take it apart, and see where we go from there. I did want to mention too that there is a fuse right down here, and I think that fuse is probably for the whole control board. I did pull it out and just check it to be sure it was all right. Now there's only one screw holding this in, and that's right there. So I'm going to take that screw apart, and then I'm just going to transfer all of these wiring pieces right into my new one, and they look identical. I lucked out on that. Stopped at Camping World and found one right off the bat. I was really lucky. She just looked up a DM2652 control board and happened to find the right one, even though I didn't have the right part number for it. So let's switch those out. Also a quick note, this new board does have a screw in here, and you can take this out completely out of the backing if you want. I'm not going to mess with trying to pull this backing out. There's no problem with it. I'm just going to take these wires and plug in the new board and put it right back in there. There's nothing wrong with this mounting bracket. There's no reason to mess around. It looks like it's got to go up on this side, pull it out. There's a snap there. Why bother? So I'm just going to change this out. Alrighty, got her back in together, and I'll go ahead and put the new cover on. The old one, there's nothing wrong with it. It probably would have lasted another 20,000 years because they just don't deteriorate. And then we'll turn some stuff on and see what we can get going here. A quick little point here to make. When I was putting the board into the original back in there are behind this right here, there is a washer and a little bolt nut. So you have to hold that with your finger, and so you do have to pull that off, and I found out it really was pretty easy. I just lifted up here and then it just slid this way and came out. Then I could put my finger on the back of this hole, on the back of that hole right there, and then just tighten the board in. So I did want to mention I did have to take it off, but it worked pretty well. So we've had the electricity of the refrigerator off for a while. I got the 12 volt is back on. I have the propane back on, so it didn't come on at first. I heard it click and all that, but the fridge was cold, so it really didn't have any reason to kick in. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I just went ahead and turned the fridge on. Then I turned it on to auto, so that it'll either sense it's on gas or on shore power. So I turned it on just a second ago. I heard this click and I heard a little pop down here, but the fridge is still real cool. It's not, I don't want to open it up and just waste electricity and all that. It's around 41, 42 degrees, so it's going to have to cool down some before, or warm up some, I'm sorry, before that kicks in and tries. But the check light is no longer on, so we'll see if that works. If Linda can last a little bit longer without AC, because it's warming up here in Arizona. Okay, well, it is working. I just missed when it came on. I came out and felt the plate here and everything. I took the cover off here. It was hotter than the son of a gun. And not sure if you can see this or not, but I do have a flame in there. And there it is. Nice blue flame, and That is exactly what I wanted to hear. Check light is not on. I didn't hear it fire up. Usually you can hear it whoosh when it turns on. I've been moving around out here. So yes, we're working. Looks like it was the control board. Alrighty, there you go, guys. I hope this helps. I'll put some pictures to the part numbers off that package that I got at Camping World. And by the way, I looked online to replace that motherboard, and I found one for $137, $10 shipping. And then when I went by Camping World, theirs was $87. So thank you very much. I'm glad Camping World had the part I needed. I hope this helps out, guys.